Dennis Neal, Monty TV, under the fig tree with a fantastic CEO. We've got Guarav Banga of Bromium, and he is in the cybersecurity business. Now, really cool thing. Thanks for being with us, Guarav. You used a metaphor to explain your product, and the metaphor was the disposable gloves that are used in hospital care to stop the spreading of germs. So please explain, how is your product like disposable gloves?
So if you go back to the hospital, this is what a hospital needs to do. It needs to do its business, which is the business of dealing with patients. And it needs to do that while it can't see the germs, unseen and unknown germs. And the technology they use is one patient gets one pair of disposable stuff. Is it gloves or a needle or maybe even the cover for a thermometer? And then when you go to a different patient, you discard those gloves and use a different pair of gloves and a different needle and maybe a different thermometer head and other things like face mask and so on and so forth. But in the world of malware, which is generally viruses that have never been seen before, viruses that are very hard to understand, viruses that it's just not just advanced and unknown. The technology that we use is we use a disposable virtual machine for each internet task. So when you go to one web page, we'll create a virtual machine. You go to that web page. When you click and go to a different website, before we let you do that, we'll create another virtual machine, and that second website will render in that. Now, when you download a picture, that's a third virtual machine. When you then link and go to another website, that's a fourth. When you download a document, like a PDF document, that's a fifth. And so very quickly, you can have a lot of these different virtual machines. If one of these websites happens to be malicious, it's no big deal because that one virtual machine will get compromised, but the hack will not be able to spread laterally.
And why won't it be able to spread, the hack?
It won't spread laterally because the virtual machine keeps the hack in. And you don't want it to spread laterally because if it was to spread laterally, it would compromise your enterprise. So here, maybe one patient is sick. That glove is tainted, and it's no big deal because for the next patient or the next website, I'm either going to use a different glove or a different virtual machine.
What is the life of a virtual machine? If I call up an email, so that becomes one virtual machine, and then how long does it last?
So it lasts. So for example, if you go to a website, as long as that website is open, that virtual machine would exist. Now when when you close the tab or you close the website or you navigate to a different website in the same tab, the virtual machine is thrown away.
And the virtual machine gets thrown away, it's burned, it no longer exists at all. And if there was hacker stuff inside it, that dies with it?
That dies with it. Now there is one caveat, and that caveat is that while the virtual machine is running, we have a little flight data recorder that is observing at what might be happening inside the virtual machine. So this information is sucked out and sent in our system, it's sent to a central console where you can look to see if the bad guys are trying to do something bad or not.
Who buys you ultimately? You're just going to flip this burger and go start something else, aren't you? Who buys you?
Nobody. I mean, we are focused right now on providing enduring value to our customers and thereby building a very large company and hopefully providing enduring shareholder value.
Do you think we will ever be able to defeat the hackers? They seem always one step ahead.
Right. I mean, so security, you're absolutely right. I mean, historically, if you look at security, it has been the game of 40-foot walls and 41-foot ladders, and then 42-foot walls and 45-foot ladders. And it does seem a little discouraging at times. That said, I want to point out, maybe 100 years ago, we were really afraid of disease, right? And we solved the problem using disposable gloves. We were afraid of Ebola. And then with the combination of isolation and medicine, we solved that problem, or I would like to believe we solved that problem. So we at Bromium really believe in the power of human innovation, and security is just another thing that we need to innovate through.
Nice job. Thanks for being with us on Monty TV. Under the fig tree, Guarav Banga, the CEO and co-founder of Bromium.